India and New Zealand have just concluded one of India's fastest free trade agreements, marking a historic leap in their economic partnership. This FTA, finalized in December 2025, is set to transform bilateral trade and investment, offering unprecedented duty-free access for Indian exports while safeguarding sensitive sectors. The agreement is not just about numbers, it's about building a resilient, inclusive, and forward-looking economic relationship. As India continues to expand its global trade network, this FTA stands out for its speed, scope, and strategic significance, opening new doors for businesses, professionals, and students alike. Let's break down the key takeaways of the India-New Zealand FTA. First, it eliminates duties on 100% of Indian exports to New Zealand, giving Indian goods a major competitive edge. Second, New Zealand commits to investing $20 billion in India over the next 15 years, strengthening long-term economic and strategic ties. India has also protected its core interests in dairy and agriculture, ensuring that sensitive sectors remain shielded. For the first time, New Zealand has signed an annex on health and traditional medicine services, and new visa pathways are opening for skilled professionals and students, especially in STEM fields. Negotiations for this FTA began in March 2025 and wrapped up by December, making it one of India's fastest concluded trade deals. This speed reflects the urgency and mutual interest both countries have in deepening economic ties. The agreement not only enhances market access and tariff preferences for Indian exports, but also positions India as a key supplier of skilled workforce to New Zealand and the wider Oceania region. It's a gateway for Indian businesses to tap into new markets and for professionals to explore global opportunities. India's approach to global trade has been proactive, with 6 FTAs signed in just 5 years. The India-New Zealand FTA builds on this momentum, offering a predictable and transparent framework for trade. It expands market access, enhances trade and services, creates new mobility pathways, and encourages long-term investment. This agreement is designed to boost economic resilience and promote inclusive growth, aligning with India's national priorities and vision for a globally integrated future. New Zealand is India's second-largest trading partner in Oceania, and their economic relationship is underpinned by strong people-to-people ties. With around 300,000 persons of Indian origin living in New Zealand, the diaspora acts as a bridge for cultural and economic exchange. In 2024, New Zealand's imports stood at $47 billion, and its overseas investments reached $422.6 billion. This FTA builds on a solid foundation, aiming to create new opportunities for both countries. Trade between India and New Zealand has seen remarkable growth. Merchandise trade jumped from $873 million in 2023-24 to $1.3 billion in 2024-25, a 49% increase. Exports from India rose by 32%, and services trade, especially in travel, IT, and business services, grew by 13%. Over the past decade, India's exports to New Zealand have increased by 130%, while imports grew by just over 7%. This positive trade balance highlights the growing demand for Indian goods and services in New Zealand. FTA eliminates duties on all Indian exports to New Zealand, giving Indian businesses a significant edge. It includes a $20 billion investment commitment over 15 years, and introduces an agricultural productivity partnership to boost farmer productivity and integrate them into global value chains. Zero-duty access is extended to labor-intensive sectors like textiles, apparel, leather, footwear, gems, jewelry, engineering goods, and processed food. While India offers market access in 70% of tariff lines, nearly 30% remain excluded to protect sensitive sectors. FTA's tariff structure is carefully designed. 30% of tariff lines see immediate duty elimination, covering products like wood, wool, sheep meat, and leather. Another 35.6% of tariffs will be phased out over 3 to 10 years, including petroleum oil, vegetable oils, and machinery. Some products like wine and pharmaceuticals face tariff reductions, while a tiny fraction such as honey and apples are managed through tariff rate quota. This approach balances market access with protection for sensitive domestic industries. New Zealand's market access offer is unprecedented. Immediate zero duty on 100% of its tariff lines for Indian exports. Previously, tariffs averaged 2.2% and were as high as 10% for key Indian products like textiles, leather, ceramics, and automobiles. Now these barriers are gone, opening the door for Indian goods across labor-intensive sectors, advanced engineering, pharmaceuticals, plastics, chemicals, and agri-products. This will help Indian exporters tap into new opportunities and expand their global footprint. FTA brings focused action plans for Indian farmers, especially in kiwifruit, apples, and honey. These plans aim to improve productivity, quality, and sectoral capabilities through centers of excellence, better planning, material, and technical support. Market access for select New Zealand agricultural products in India will be managed through tariff rate quotas, ensuring consumer choice while protecting domestic farmers. All these measures are monitored by a joint Agriculture Productivity Council, balancing growth and protection. FTA's impact goes beyond goods. New Zealand has made its best-ever offer, covering 118 services sectors and granting most favored nation treatment in 139 sectors. For the first time, an annex on health and traditional medicine facilitates trade in Ayurveda, yoga, and other traditional medicine services. This not only promotes India's AYUSH systems globally but also encourages collaboration in wellness services and medical value travel, reinforcing India's position as a global health and wellness hub. Student mobility and professional pathways are major highlights. New Zealand has signed an annex on student mobility and post-study work visas for the first time with any country. Indian students can work up to 20 hours per week and enjoy extended post-study work visas up to 4 years for doctorates. There's also a quota of 5,000 visas for skilled Indians in sectors like healthcare, engineering, and iconic Indian occupations such as AYUSH practitioners and chefs. Additionally, 1,000 young Indians can avail a working holiday visa each year. New Zealand's USD 20 billion investment commitment over 15 years will strengthen India's long-term economic ties. The FTA also supports MSME cooperation, helping small businesses access trade-related information in global markets. There's mutual recognition of organic certification, and technical assistance is agreed in areas like AYUSH, tourism, sports, and traditional knowledge. These measures are designed to foster innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable growth for both countries. FTA goes beyond economics by fostering cultural exchange and traditional knowledge cooperation. There's dedicated engagement with New Zealand's indigenous Maori communities, promoting mutual respect and cultural understanding. This strengthens India's soft power and global recognition of its heritage, while also supporting the international promotion of AYUSH and Indian traditional knowledge systems. Such cultural diplomacy is a vital part of building lasting bilateral ties. Agreement includes robust regulatory and institutional provisions. Annexes on pharmaceuticals and medical devices ensure expedited regulatory pathways and mutual recognition of inspections from trusted regulators. New Zealand commits to amending its laws for EU-level protection of India's geographical indications within 18 months. Customs and trade facilitation measures such as advance rulings and faster clearance times will streamline cross-border trade and ensure integrity through strong rules of origin. Agriculture is a big winner in this FTA. India's agricultural exports to New Zealand are set to benefit from the elimination of tariffs across 1,379 tariff lines. This covers fruits, vegetables, cereals, coffee, tea, cocoa, spices, and processed foods. The move enhances India's competitiveness in global markets and supports the growth of its food processing sector. With tariffs at peak 5% now eliminated, Indian farmers and agribusinesses can look forward to new export opportunities. Green exports, textiles, and engineering goods are also set for growth. The FTA provides zero-duty access for marine products, textiles, and clothing, making Indian goods more competitive in New Zealand's market. Engineering exports, which have seen 20% growth, will benefit from the elimination of duties across 1,396 tariff lines. These sectors are crucial for job creation and export diversification, supporting India's broader economic goals. Leather, footwear, pharmaceuticals, and plastics are among the sectors gaining from the FTA. Tariffs on leather goods and footwear, previously up to 10%, are now eliminated, boosting exports in mid to high-value segments. Pharmaceutical exports benefit from zero tariffs across 90 lines, while plastics and rubber products gain from duty elimination across 397 lines. These changes will help Indian manufacturers expand their reach and compete more effectively in New Zealand. India's global trade strategy is built on a growing network of FTAs. Recent agreements with Oman, the UK, EFTA, UAE, Australia, and Mauritius have all contributed to India's emergence as a preferred partner for trade and economic cooperation. These FTAs reduce tariffs, improve market access, and strengthen intellectual property protection, creating a level playing field for Indian businesses and investors worldwide. India-New Zealand FTA will enter into force after both countries complete their domestic processes and ratify the agreement. The negotiated text will be published for transparency, and the agreement is expected to be signed and implemented next year. This timeline ensures that all stakeholders are prepared to take full advantage of the new opportunities as soon as the FTA becomes operational. The India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement marks a defining moment in India's trade diplomacy. By securing improved market access, expanding opportunities in services and mobility, and deepening cooperation in agriculture and investment, the FTA delivers broad-based benefits. From farmers and MSMEs to students and skilled professionals, the gains are expected to reinforce India's position as a trusted, forward-looking global partner and advance the vision of a globally integrated Viksit Bharat 2047.